So while infrastructure, is the foundation of your network, anything you can do to optimize bits per hertz is really going to ensure that you get full value from that investment. And of course, our friends at Preseem are absolute legends at that. So without further ado, Matt, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, appreciate it, Rick. I'm excited to be here. I think this is, an important activity, obviously, from an integration perspective, is to get the entire ecosystem together. So I'm really excited to be, a part of this today. Thanks for the opportunity. And to the attendees as well, I'm going to give you some insight and a little bit into Preseem, just generally how we got here, what the problems are that we solve. I'll give you some insight into the integration as well, obviously, that we have with Sonar, so you could understand a little bit more about that. But if you're not familiar with Preseem, we started back in 2017 really with a simple mission, and that's to help rural ISPs solve really complex networking challenges with products that people love. And we've been fortunate to be nominated as a 5-time WISPA Service of the Year award winner as the proactive access network and subscriber management of choice for more than 400 rural ISPs globally. And when you think about this, the current situation, ISPs like AirBridge, Vistabeam, Plains Internet, and all of you who are representative of ISPs here today, you're focused on delivering better experiences and growing your businesses at the same time. But there's a lot of things that get in your way. If you think about the current disjointed tools, there's a lot of systems in place that create silos of data, inefficient workflows. We talked about automation previously and the focus there. But fundamentally, all of these lead to reactive quality of experience metrics, reactive metrics in general. And it really, you're kind of forced in the situation to only troubleshoot customers once they're already happy in a reactive mindset. What this means is more truck rolls, more support calls, higher churn, and even missed opportunities to potentially grow. So our position at Preseem is that ISPs need to shift their approach from reactive to proactive by going beyond quality of experience. We really see this as table stakes and how you grow your network further with all the integrations that we talked about and all the partners that you're going to be hearing from today. And something with Preseem that we'll go a little deeper on today that you get is that unified visibility across all of your systems. So subscriber level business insights and proactive traffic management as well, so you can take action on those insights that you see. And the great thing is that we work with whatever equipment you already have, whether that's Sonar, Adtran previously, and even some of your fixed wireless equipment like Tirana, Cambium, Ubiquity, and Microtech, and even your fiber OLTs together to give your teams a single place with actionable insights all in one place so they can align on that data. And the great thing here is that this actually translates into amazing results. So you'll see in many cases, 28% fewer truck rolls, 50% fewer support calls, 30% reductions in churn, and even higher ARPU as a result of taking a proactive approach to all of these. So this is the focus of the session, is really to dive deeper on some of those common challenges that force ISPs to be reactive. And we'll talk about how Preseem and also some of the pre-built integrations that we've built with the likes of Sonar are helping you to drive growth, operational efficiencies, as well as maximize the quality of experience across your network. So first, let's talk a little around what's standing in your way. Building on what Gary was talking about this morning with some of the trends that we're seeing in the fiber space, you've got limited resources. You don't have access to unlimited budgets. You don't have massive development teams to build and manage all of the specialized tooling that's required in some cases to make this ecosystem work effectively. And next, there's a lot of vendors that you have, Preseem being one, Adtran another, Sonar as well. There's a lot of vendors in the ecosystem and systems across the network. And oftentimes, especially with legacy systems, as you're growing your network, getting all that technology to work together is really a huge operational challenge. And all of this leads to a siloing of data and visibility that, your support and operations teams now spend too much time logging into multiple different systems. And it really creates a fragmentation of data that forces you to react to what's happening instead of focusing on, being more proactive and actually addressing things before they even happen. So I wonder if this sounds familiar to anyone on the call today, on the webinar today. When you think about your network, how many different types of access technologies do you manage? How many systems? How long is it taking your support reps to troubleshoot calls? Do your sales and marketing teams know where to focus their upsell efforts in a way that won't actually kill the network, or the experience adversely for other subscribers and customers on the network? And this is really our belief at Preseem, is that there's a better way to do this. And this is where the proactive approach comes in. What we deliver is we give you actionable and centralized insights across your access network, all of your vendors and subscribers, all in one place. And our proactive platform also brings commonality to those metrics and really simplifying a lot of the complexity that exists across your access networks as well. And by removing that need to build some of these custom tools with pre-built integrations, this is really going to increase your agility. It decreases your staff's reliance on needed to keep training up to date on individual vendor systems, and it also enables network teams to operate at a higher level and partner with the rest of the business in a way that really wasn't possible previously. So some of the things that are innate within the platform are, you get deployment flexibility. You have a number of different options with Preseem to get you up and running fast and start seeing, actionable intelligence from the data and based on the performance of your network and what's happening there. Pre-built integrations is something that we really focus on, and this is the focus of obviously Broadband Integration Day as well with Sonar. And our focus is to build those so you don't have to. We want to be able to free your development teams, if you have one, or in the case where you don't have a development team, make you less reliant on needing to build and maintain those integrations yourself. That really enables you to rid yourself of any vendor lock-in. It increases your agility to adopt and adapt to new technologies, and really choose the best technology for the job, whether that's fiber, fixed wireless, or any combination of access technologies, as an example. Unified visibility is really, a centralized place to give you commonality to those metrics to help drive operational efficiency across your teams, right? So reducing support and training costs through a single pane of glass, and everything, including historical data, is stored in the system. So you can actually look at trends over time and see how things might be increasing or even decreasing or degrading so that you know where to adjust. And finally, many solutions. So it's not just about quality of experience. It's really important in differentiating yourselves in this market, but it's also about being able to drive proactive growth and customer support, making your teams more efficient, network operations, being able to spot opportunities to either extend capacity or delay your capacity investment, or even just protecting the quality of experience for the subscribers across the entire platform. What we find is that our customers that build on top of Preseem, they're really investing in that shift, that transformational shift that we talked about earlier in the webinar on how the business operates. It's about automation, making folks more efficient, being able to help you unlock your team's own skills so you can focus on other things and operate at a higher level and move faster. So really quickly with the Preseem platform, there's a couple of different ways that we can help you get up and running fast with no network changes or additional hardware to add. We can be deployed inside of the management network to collect multi-vendor, multi-access telemetry from the access network, your billing and OSS vendor such as Sonar, as well as your CPE devices and ONTs on the fiber network. We also are able to deploy inline of subscriber traffic, and this is going to give you access to our quality of experience and traffic management capabilities. We measure latency by round trip time, so looking at end-to-end latency and how that affects quality of experience. We're also able to apply automatic capacity management capabilities directly on subsets of traffic so that you can shape and really manage traffic and protect the quality of experience for all subscribers on the network. And when you combine these two models of deployment together, it gives regional ISPs actionable and traffic-based metrics that let you at the same time maximize QoE and understand the subscriber's experience from their own perspective. We talked a little around solutions, but this is effectively, the solution kit that you get with Preseem is looking at being able to drive proactive growth. So what does that mean? What that means is you'll be able to spot acquisition and upsell opportunities across the network faster because you've got data from a number of points across the network. It's also going to enable you to spot your churn risk or potentially sectors of the network themselves that actually might be affecting quality of experience for a group of subscribers. So you can reduce your churn risk there. But fundamentally on the growth side, it's really about creating amazing and delivering amazing customer experiences for your customers as well. When we think about customer support, this is with Preseem, you're going to be able to reduce call volumes. You're going to have complete context with what is happening both on a now and a historical time frame so that you can drive faster ticket support resolutions, as well as get that context to reduce the number of unnecessary truck rolls, reduce the number of escalations that you might have to send to level 2 support as well. And network operations, really being able to eliminate all that integration complexity so that you don't have to focus on that you can actually focus on making more accurate CapEx investment decisions with data from the network on how it's being utilized and also how it's performing. And then with quality of experience and traffic management, you'll be able to automatically mitigate congestion, maximize resource utilization, and deliver the best possible quality of experience for your subscribers. So we talked a lot about pre-built integrations. What does that mean? Well, I mean, we're here today thanks to Sonar for hosting today, but let's talk about how Sonar fits into this whole ecosystem together with Preseem. And the challenge that we're really looking to solve together with Sonar is when you think about regional ISPs and all of the manual data entry that occurs between systems, right? It causes major errors, delays, in your ability to make accurate decisions and really trust that data. So the Preseem and Sonar integration helps to solve for that by unifying Preseem's quality of experience and network metrics together with Sonar's really robust billing and operations to bring that context to your network and all of your subscriber data. So what we do is we pull in account information, service plan, and package data from Sonar and give you a single point of data entry for your customer plans, your network inventory, and you get to see this all through the Preseem web app. You'll see equipment, you'll see subscriber names that directly match in Sonar. Directly from Preseem, you can drill further into the subscriber or the customer's billing information inside of Sonar. We've built that as part of the integration as well. And you'll see in Preseem, or actually in Sonar, you'll see the Preseem sector status for your fixed wireless environment and your fixed wireless network. What this enables you to do, this integration, is really correlate the Sonar data that you see from a billing and OSS perspective with the quality of experience scores that you get from Preseem and the performance overall of the access network. And so we've been really fortunate. We've been engaged in this partnership for a long time now, and we have hundreds of common customers like Grizzly Broadband, Evergent Wireless, Alamo Broadband as examples. And all of these folks are using this integration to do a couple things, right? Optimize the quality of experience and really conduct plan enforcement that's based on the plan information that we get from Sonar. And we can do that and enforce that directly on the network. Also empowering your support teams with faster issue resolution, and that results in fewer truck rolls because you're going to have the complete context of what plan is that customer on? Are they hitting their service rate? Are they able to achieve the plan speeds that I'm advertising to them? And fundamentally, giving context to your sales and marketing teams that helps to drive upsells and growth campaigns based on actual network performance that's available, with available network capacity, as well as the customer experience itself. And so if you've ever heard me talk before, I'm a big proponent of show, don't tell. I know we're doing a lot of telling right now, but what I'd love to do is I'm just going to drop a link here in the chat. This is going to be basically a pre-built integration or interactive tour really of the integration that we have built with Sonar. And this really helps to kind of bring it to life in a way that's a little more interactive than simple slideware that I've, to date have been kind of presenting on. But what you'll see through this interactive tour is that the Preseem and Sonar integration really allows you to get that service plan information and how that flows automatically from Sonar into Preseem. And you'll also be able with this integration to define your plans a single time inside of Sonar, and then Preseem automatically syncs those details, which really enriches the consistency and the accuracy of the data that you get inside of both systems and platforms. But fundamentally, with greater context, you can actually turn this insight into action. And so when we talk about action, there's a couple of things, right? And kind of getting a little close to the end of the session here, but if we're looking to wrap this up, we know that a lot of you deal with complexity, challenges with increasing competition. We heard earlier about, LEO satellites and how that's coming in. There's a lot of access technology competition out there. You need to manage multiple systems, in addition to the data silos that all of that creates. And it's that data fragmentation that really creates or complicates your ability to be more proactive. It slows growth. It creates poor customer experiences. It can even cause lengthy support calls and unnecessary truck rolls as well. But instead of working on improving your network performance, probably often find yourself and your experienced technicians, they're spending their valuable time troubleshooting support calls when it really could have been resolved the first time. So there's network optimization opportunities that are hidden in this reactive approach. It's really difficult to identify future growth opportunities, and upsell or upgrades probably feel impossible. But we talked a little around this. We believe at Preseem that it doesn't have to be this way. We really believe that with proactive approaches to access network and subscriber management and these pre-built integrations with strong partners like Sonar, internet service providers can activate a more centralized and actionable intelligence across your access technologies. So if you are a fixed wireless customer, awesome, and you're looking to expand into fiber, great. That's why we've built all of these integrations, is that so that you don't have to, and that you get a single view of all of your systems across your network. It's with this unified insight that you can take action to prevent churn, you can drive growth faster, you can reduce those support calls we talked about, and increase overall your operational efficiency. And this is really what the advantage of Preseem is, in combination with looking at the partnership we have with Sonar. So just to kind of close off a little bit, these are some customers that anecdotally have been able to drive real results with Preseem's platform. And so, when we think about reducing the number of subscribers that are potentially at risk of churning, Evergent was able to do this, and make improvements to the network proactively so that it actually decreased the amount of subscriber churn risk that they had. Paladin Wireless as well, it uses Preseem to improve operations by knowing where to make configuration changes to access points that was able to reduce latency by 30 milliseconds, which we think about the quality of experience for that subscriber make a huge difference. Prairie Hills Wireless as well, knowing which subscribers are ready for an upgrade and when, based on actual network capacity, gives their teams the confidence in the data to go out and run some really effective sales and marketing campaigns targeting those specific areas for upgrades. But overall, improving the efficiency of your support teams by reducing call volumes by as much as 25%. This is what happened to Grizzly Broadband. It's something amazing. And I think if you could think of what that would mean if you were to reduce the amount of support calls on even a weekly basis by that much, think about what you could focus those folks on doing. You could up-level their training. You could get them working on more level 2 tickets as well. So a lot of efficiencies that are translated to that. So just to kind of close off here, before we get into a couple of questions I see that have come in, getting started is really easy with Preseem. We can get you up and running fast. We've got risk-free trials, 30-day trials that you can use to kind of get up and see some of the data and the information across your network. We've got the ability to get you really quickly set up with Sonar through that integration as well, so that if you're an existing Sonar customer and you're considering Preseem, we can get you up and running fast with that as well. And our team is always here. We're here to help you onboard. We're here to help you, understand your network a little more. We've got folks on our team that have, hundreds of years combined of either running an ISP or working directly with internet service providers around the world. So a lot of experience in helping you understand your network there. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to see if there's any questions here that have come in, and maybe Rick's come back here. So
awesome. Thank you so much, Matt. Really enjoyed that look. I think we have one or two questions. I just wanted to say that, I think for a lot of people, you probably helped to redefine the way to look at QoE. It's not a lagging indicator. It's a proactive metric that helps providers to stay ahead, get ahead of your churn. If satisfaction is dipping, you can do something about it. Yeah. And I think that's, really an important takeaway. Yeah. I also just want to shout out, and I know you put a link in the comments, the interactive demo that you prepared for today, I think is a fantastic thing. Go check it out, click through it. Really kind of helps a lot of these things just become real, and will allow you to wrap your head around what's possible. So thanks again, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. So I see there's a question there, real-time data on the capacity view. That's for me, yeah?
Yep.
Awesome. So that's something that we're building right now. The foundation with our next generation data plane is the ability to get more real-time metrics inside of Preseem, and that'll give you the ability to see some of those flow-based metrics in greater real time. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have some really great announcements around that as well. But I think what we see currently inside of the dashboard is really enabling you to see that trending information over as much as 2 years. And that's really where I think the power comes in, because it gets you to see how pervasive a problem might be, and where you need to make updates or upgrades or changes to the network configurations immediately, and where it might be able to wait. So
awesome. That's exciting. We'll definitely be keeping an eye out for that. I saw another question coming here from Ian. There we go, right on the screen.
Yeah. Awesome. No, thanks, Ian. That's great. Yeah, what metrics? So it's actually kind of cool. So we publish, a couple times a year, some insights that we get from our customer deployments around the world. So we've recently published our annual ISP network report. But something that we did differently, in addition to looking at our fiber and fixed wireless deployments and some of the trends with how that's working, is we did a survey of all of you, our customer base, to understand what are some of the metrics that you should be tracking. So, even staying ahead of performance issue, it is quality of experience. I think that's one, even though the theme of this is really beyond QoE, it's understanding where, if you operate a fixed wireless network, maybe your RF environment is starting to degrade. So we give you some business health metrics, business value metrics, and RF health metrics, so you can understand those a bit further. But I think those are really just fundamentally the tactical ones, I think, that are really great to track. But if you're thinking about some business or performance outcomes to track from the ISP report, something that we wanted to measure was churn. At Wispapalooza and Wisp America, it was a topic of a lot of conversations that I was in, from a number of different sessions. Is how do I know what a good number for churn is, right? Is 3% good? Is 5? Is 10?
Sure.
How do I know? So a lot of folks, even just starting from that business outcome, what we found from the ISP report is that folks that generally have a higher customer satisfaction rate or net promoter score, if you track that, if that's something you track, generally have better metrics around lower churn. So the lower the churn, the higher NPS or customer satisfaction scores is something that was a correlation that came out of the survey. So I would say those operational metrics, in fixed wireless environments, your RF, your business value scores, things like that, your latency, your quality of experience, all great metrics to track. But then even thinking about your business outcome metrics, churn, how long is it taking your support folks to address and triage a support call? How many support calls do you get? Those are all really great outcome driven ones as well to track, to stay ahead of performance.
Awesome. That's great. I think we probably have time for one more. There is one more here.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, traditional QoE tools, I think this is something interesting as well, where given how we deploy in the network, both in the management network as well as in line of subscriber traffic, gives us the ability to correlate based on the network topology, the quality of experience, and kind of correlate that together. And what that means is you get a better sense for how the customer's experience actually feels to them versus just simply measuring latency. So being able to look at it at several different stages across the network, whether it's in the access network, whether it might be the cause of some in-home Wi-Fi troubles, it gives you the ability to kind of diagnose that across a number of different areas of the network.
Perfect. Well, again, we are really, on time here. Maybe we should get into, train station business or something. This is really amazing. I don't think we've ever run one like this. This is great. Matt, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for walking us through that today. And again, for everyone, make sure to grab that link before you go from the comments.
You got it. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Take care.